We live in a world optimized for speed, quick results, instant feedback, and this idea of overnight success stories. But the most meaningful careers and sustainable businesses aren't built fast. They are built intentionally. Short-term thinking creates busy professionals. Long-term thinking creates impactful leaders. The challenge isn't effort, it is perspective. So today we're going to talk about how to think beyond the moment without losing momentum in the present. Let's talk about it right after this.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Are your current decisions serving your future or just solving today's pressures? I know at one time when I would take a look at things that I had going on. More importantly, I'm going to say from my corporate America experience, we would look at things that were happening in the moment in more than one place. And we never really considered what would be the long-lasting opportunities that we could take advantage of, especially those that would help individuals who are trying to get themselves figured out, whatever it might have been, because some people needed some of these positions a little bit more than I did, because I had other interests outside. And so, unfortunately, when we would think of, hey, we're doing this, we're going about it this way or whatever it is, we did not always consider the long term. And so we thought that the short-term wins were just exactly what they were. They were wins, but we didn't understand that it would undermine the long-term growth. And unfortunately, we think that every win is a good win, but it isn't. And so promotions, the projects, the opportunities that we had done, that we had achieved, they look successful on paper, but when you start to pull away from the long-term vision, it didn't work. And as professionals, we need to understand and evaluate success by direction, not just results. See, long-term thinking requires patience and discipline, and I know those are two things that I did not always acknowledge that I had. As my wife would tell me, I don't have tolerance. I have plenty of patience. I don't have tolerance. And I didn't always have discipline on stuff that I really needed to do. I had discipline on the nonsense, which I'm pretty sure some of you out there can relate to. But when you understand that playing the long game means resisting urgency-driven decisions, that plays upon the idea of patience. It requires discipline to say no to distractions and patience to build skills, credibility, and systems that compound over time. So some of us don't have the discipline to say no because we think we need every single opportunity that comes our way. We need to understand today that again, opportunities, they're not for everyone. They're not for everybody. And if you're not equipped to really handle it, it may not be the thing for you. And it can destroy your credibility. And sometimes the patience part of that as well. Like the real patience, like, hey, I need to hurry up and get, $3,000 this month right now because otherwise I'm not going to have my bills, or I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. But if you think about it like this, you can always call those individuals, those creditors or whatever it is, and say to them like, listen, I can't do X, Y, and Z. I don't have X, Y, and Z. Can I work something out or whatever it is? That's how you make this thing happen. And you have to be, in our favorite word for this place is consistency. Because consistency is the bridge between now and next. So you don't leap into long-term success. You walk into it consistently. Again, you don't leap into long-term success. It's not a jump. You can't long jump it. You can't, whatever it is. You can't hopscotch it. You walk into it just by being consistent and making sure that those small aligned actions that are repeated over a period of time, those outcomes, you won't be able to achieve if they were only on a short-term basis, because short-term won't be able to be sustainable. And so short-term thinking leads to burnout and leads to misalignment, and it can really lead to regret. And so we need to understand that this matters because long-term thinking helps us to build our career and businesses that endure the pressure. What is pressure, Maurice? The pressure is looking at social media has. Unfortunately, I pay attention to a lot of organizations, and I see how they are truly influenced and measure their success based on what someone else is saying on social media. Well, if that is true on social media, do you think they really have time to always showcase their successes on social media? Because those that are really about it, are they not now planning for the next space? Because here's the reality. Just because you hit one success does not mean it's the end of the journey. It's just one stop. Because the journey never ends. The destination is never really achieved because it's just one stop on the journey. So as you're looking at these individuals who are showcasing who they are on social media, you really need to probably do your due diligence and see where they really are in their business, in their career. Also, when it comes to this idea matters as you're building your career and your business, because you have to also endure change. Change is inevitable. So how many of you out there who has worked in an office setting and then all of a sudden that office decides that it's going to go to another building? Whether it's across the street, down the street, 2 cities away, or whatever it is. And sometimes those long-term ideas or those long-term decisions helps to increase visibility, increase longevity in the industry, and possibly increase profitability in the long term. And then also, this idea helps us to endure our competition. But who is our competition? For me, it's myself. Because I have an image in my mind where I want to be, and then I have who I am, and then or what I've been. And now how do I make sure that I am competing of not being where I was, but also continuing to gain up on the individual that I think I need to be or I should be, and then even surpassing that. Again, it costs consistent work. So fast progress, it might feel good, but lasting progress changes lives. And when you commit to the long game, today's decisions gain clarity and purpose. So before the next episode, I really would like for you to ask yourself this. Will this choice still make sense a year from today? Will this choice still make sense a year from today? I thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?